What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 4 of the Janitors. Today, it's me, Phil, and IT. Me, your boy, Matt. What's up, boys?
What's up, Maddie? What's going on, guys?
Hey, what's up, boys? You know the vibes.
um, so we got some good stuff on the plate. Uh, I'm still hungover from the CC game last night. Speaking of that, we have our first guest.
We do.
First guest in pod history. Also, his first time being on a pod, so it was good. So yeah, we're gonna play the interview for you guys. So we're called the Janitors. That started because of our Chell team. We always scored greasy goals, and it just evolved to the
The
Janitors.
cleanup crew.
First guest in the Janitors history was the second overall pick in the USHL draft, sixth round pick by the Panthers, just won National Player of the Month, won a bronze in U17 Worlds. Is that good? Won a national championship in North Dakota. Is that good? And is currently tied for the lead in goals in the country. Welcome to the Janitors, Chris Wilkie.
Thanks for having me, guys. Pleasure to be the first guest on your guys' podcast. So my
First
first
guest.
podcast too.
Thanks
So
for coming on.
Oh, it's your first time being on one?
yeah, first time I had to re-download Skype and everything for it. So
Oh, sweet.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well,
Don't worry,
welcome to
soon
the
enough.
Janitors
When you're in the
podcast.
When you're in the show, they'll have you on chiclets. Don't worry about it.
So first question I thought of, so like football recruiting, everybody kind of knows it's kind of really a big deal. Not that hockey's not, but nationally televised and stuff where they have like pick the hat. What was the hockey recruiting process like? Because there's, you got drafted to the Dub, I saw, and then what was it like having like the colleges versus going to Canada?
yeah, I mean it's different with hockey. I think they just changed the rules now, but I think I started going through the recruiting process at like 15. I think my sophomore year in high school. And then obviously it's mostly just like parents talking to the teams and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, as a young kid, it was kind of overwhelming to have kind of that interest and stuff. And only took one visit to North Dakota and kind of just made my mind up there. I mean, a 15-year-old kid walking into the Ralph, it's pretty easy to just want to go there. So I think I told my dad that I didn't want to visit anywhere else after that, and made that decision pretty quick. So I didn't have an overly stressful recruiting thing and stuff like that. I mean, obviously looking back on it, I didn't stay there. Probably would have been better to take some more time, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty tough when you're a 15-year-old kid walking into the Ralph and thinking about playing there. So.
And they average like 12,000 people a game in the stands.
Where else did you get offers from?
I mean, I was kind of talking to Minnesota and Minnesota Duluth. We're kind of the main couple there. I think those are the ones that I kind of narrowed down to. And I mean, like I said, obviously North Dakota was the only real offer, and I took it right away. I didn't really need to think too hard about that one.
Oh, so you won a natty up in North Dakota with that team was absolutely stacked.
Yeah.
Josti, Brock Besser. Yeah, an NHL captain on your team. You got you. So what was it like winning a natty there? Obviously it's good, but your take on it and what inspired you to transfer to CC?
Yeah, no, that was an incredible year, obviously. And I think almost everyone is in the NHL or playing pro somewhere besides the guys that are still in college. So pretty remarkable team to just look back at that roster and the things we did that year. And yeah, it was such a fun year just to be able to gain that experience right away in my first year of winning. And obviously I'd like to get back and do that every year, but I mean, it's pretty tough to do with the parity in college hockey. And but yeah, it was awesome, and definitely something that is probably one of the biggest moments in my hockey career for sure. And just to be able to, I mean, even looking back and talking with those guys, we still keep up together all the time, and just kind of talk about how that year was and how much fun we had. And to be able to win it in Tampa was a pretty good time. Nice weather, had a little outdoor get together there with the fans after. So yeah, it was crazy.
And yeah, what was it? What kind of caused you to? It was after your sophomore year.
Yeah.
What kind of made you make the decision to go to CC?
Yeah, I think my sophomore year, obviously, I didn't go as well as I would have liked, and kind of struggled there. And um, I mean, I think looking back on it, I was pretty young, and probably were some gaping holes in my game where I may not have wanted to accept yet or taken blame for, and kind of needed to grow up in that aspect. But yeah, I think just sometimes a change of scenery is welcoming and something that you need. And you see it all the time with guys in trades and stuff where just kind of clicks with the new team and stuff like that. And I think at the end of the day, that's what it was. There were no hard feelings or anything in North Dakota. It was just something that I felt that I needed to do for my hockey career. And my brother had committed to CC a couple months before that. So my family had the relationship with the coaching staff. So that kind of made it easy. And I wanted to stay in conference as well, too, because obviously the NCHC is probably the best conference in college hockey, and you want to have that challenge for yourself. So, yeah, I mean, just didn't really need to think too much about that. And my family and obviously my brother had already had a good relationship and trust in the coaching staff here. So, yeah, just was ultimately really excited for a fresh start, and couldn't be happier to be here, though.
It's a good spot. Phil, do you have a question?
Yeah, it's definitely a good spot to be. I loved Colorado when I was there. I lived there for like 2.5 years. And there's
Right downtown.
you're never bored. There's always something to do. A couple questions I came up with. So what was it like growing up in a small hockey market like Nebraska? Obviously, you don't hear a lot of dudes in the NHL coming out of Nebraska just because it's not a big thing. But now they have Omaha, so I guess it's getting bigger. The game's growing everywhere, especially in places like Nebraska that are so close to Minnesota, stuff like that. So what was that like?
Yeah, I mean, I think Jed Ortmeyer had been the only NHL player to come out of Omaha. Might still be now. I'm not fully sure there. I mean, I think they say Gensel's from Omaha or whatnot, but I don't know. He didn't really grow up there. I think he just happened to be born there, so they kind of take credit for that. But yeah, no, I mean, it's crazy how much it's grown. I mean, there's a pretty good amount of guys that are playing college now, and some guys that are in pro as well that are from Omaha, that are kind of my age or a couple years older, and yeah, it's grown a lot. I mean, I didn't play AAA hockey until I was I think 15. So I mean, it was just AA hockey was the only thing that we had there in the Midwest, playing against like the Kansas City teams and the Iowa teams. Obviously not the best hockey. So yeah, I think I was the Omaha AAA program that my dad kind of helped start was the first AAA program, and that's obviously grown a lot too. There's a lot of guys that played there that are playing college hockey now, and some pro as well. So yeah, I mean, coming up, it definitely wasn't booming.
Long drives.
Yeah, no, I think I mean, yeah, Chicago, Minnesota, Detroit, a lot of those car rides. Don't miss those at all. And now I think it's grown to the point where they're having the AAA showcases in Omaha and stuff like that. So it's just pretty cool to see how that's grown and the popularity that it's taken. Obviously, you have the Mavericks and the Lancers, and that helps a lot too. And yeah, I think it's growing a lot there, and that's always nice to see in somewhere like that.
Yeah, it was actually tied right into my next question too. Is like what kind of obviously you just kind of said it, but the competition growing up, because when I was growing up, I played hockey in Maine, so like there was good talent pretty much everywhere because we were close enough to Canada that we would just travel there. Obviously, Massachusetts is a hotbed for hockey as well. So, how was the competition growing up? I mean, you probably were a standout right off the rip.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all thought we were pretty good playing against teams from Iowa and Missouri and stuff like that. Just the AA hockey. I mean, but I mean, I remember when we went and played. I think it was my Pee Wee team. We went and played the St. Louis Blues '98 year team with Clayton Keller and Kachuk, and got our asses spanked. I think Keller had like 10, 11 points every night, and I was like, all right, well, that's real hockey there. And I think we were even like 2 years older than them. So, yeah, I mean, we had some pretty good players on our teams growing up, but then you also had a pretty big drop off in players and guys that didn't go too far past probably those couple years there. So, and then I think as it grew, I mean, we started bringing in kids from Minnesota and Chicago and pulling those kids away from high school and AAA. I mean, and that just goes to show the growth that there's been in Omaha where guys are leaving programs like their high school teams in Minnesota and obviously the well-known AAA programs in the Midwest like Chicago and Detroit and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool to see develop as I've gone on.
Obviously, you grew up around with your dad being an NHLer. Did you always know that you're going to be good enough to play at the Division I level, and then potentially move on to the NHL that level? Did you always think that you had it, or did your dad just see it like, yeah, he's going to be able to play high?
I think he's kind of talked about how he doubted it a little bit there in the young years. That he didn't know if I really wanted to do it, but I think kind of as I got older, maybe through like 14 or 15 years old, I think I kind of started to turn the corner there, and was just a little chubby kid growing up, and kind of took off.
Chubby kids, I'm one of them.
Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, no, I think I mean, as we kind of worked out of the competition that was in the area, you kind of start to be able to match yourself up against I mean, the kids in St. Louis and stuff like that, like I said before, and kind of realize that you can play with them. And I mean, they have the national camps in the summer and stuff that you can kind of start to gauge that. And yeah, I mean, as you went on, you can start to realize the scouting interest and stuff like that from junior teams. And the WHL camp leading up to that Bantam draft was kind of where that started to get realized there first, and kind of took off from there. So yeah.
So you're a 6th round pick in the CHL draft. So what was it like, the process leading up to that? It's a little bit different for the people who knew they were going to be top 5. Did you have people in your ear telling you like, hey, this is where we think you're going to go, be ready for a call around this time from this team, or was it completely random? Like how did the process of the draft for you go?
Yeah, I mean, my first year I didn't get picked at all. And had kind of my real draft year, the year in Tri-City. I mean, didn't have a great year, kind of just expected things to happen, and it didn't. And then so coming back into that next year, I think I was out to kind of prove that wasn't the right decision there, and that I felt that I should have gone, seeing some of the guys go in that draft. And yeah, I mean, as the year goes on, you kind of have little interviews and stuff like that, and had gone to a couple just like individual combines that teams hold, like Chicago and Buffalo, or a couple of them where they just bring a couple guys in and do all the testing and stuff like that. And yeah, just kind of talking to my advisor, you kind of have somewhat of an idea, I guess, of where you might go. And I mean, being a second-year guy in the draft, that I mean, obviously not going to be in the first or second round, you kind of don't really know going into it. I mean, like I said, you kind of have a little bit of an idea, and my advisor had said like a couple of the teams that were picking late, they had interest in where I might go. And I mean, honestly, I think as those teams picked different guys, I kind of stopped watching the draft. I just like set my phone down and was about to get in the shower. Was at Shane Gersich's house in the summer, just there for the weekend. And and yeah, I was like getting in the shower, just like, fuck this, like I'm going. I'm gonna get drafted. And then my advisor called and he's like, you just went to Florida. And I was like, well, all right. Well, I didn't talk to Florida once or anything, so
dang.
I got a question for you real quick. So I, as a Devils fan, went to my first NHL draft when Nico was drafted, and that experience to me was just very overwhelming, just knowing that my team gets a pick in that draft. I was just curious how you were like, yeah, you just said, oh, your advisor told you about it, but what did it really feel like to know that someone actually wanted to have you be part of their organization?
Yeah, no, it's super cool. I mean, obviously a huge honor to get picked, and there's a lot of emotions, and kind of I called my parents right away, and I mean, obviously they were really excited too and happy for me. And yeah, no, it's definitely a really special feeling there. to have that honor to be picked, and then it kind of became a whirlwind. Like I had to pack up and fly out to development camp like the next day because I think that draft was in Florida, so they just wanted to start their camp like the next day. So yeah, it was obviously pretty exciting. A lot of emotions, and then quick turnaround and flew down to Florida right away for development camp.
And did any of your boys get drafted, or do you have any have you heard stories about them going on to the NHL, and are they giving you information and feedback towards your potential NHL career?
Yeah, no, I think obviously my freshman year team, there's so many guys that are in the NHL right now. Obviously the guys that were in my class that year were Brock Besser, Shane Gersich, Christian Wolanin. So yeah, I kind of talked to those guys a good amount just about pro, and obviously a lot different lifestyle than college. I mean, you're just playing hockey, and I'm pretty excited for that to be done with school. And,
to become your life.
Yeah.
So what did you eat this off season to go from? Obviously, you had the A.
What's the diet?
Yeah, what's the diet for a year? But you blew up this year.
Phil needs to know for his rec league.
Yeah.
Was that
I need it for my men's league, bro.
17 Tuckies in 22 games.
Bud Light and pizza diet.
Oh yeah.
No, it's obviously nice. Last year I think I had 2 separate injuries and only had 20 games in between that, and never really fully healthy there, even coming back from those, and then I was start playing well again towards the end of the year, and then get hurt. So obviously a frustrating year coming off of a redshirt year of already sitting out the whole year. Kind of start to feel like that things aren't really ever going to start going right, and just took the summer to get healthy. And I think, obviously that makes a big difference, just feeling good going into every game. And fortunately there's been some puck luck this year, and pucks are finding their ways into the net, whether it be going off guys or whatnot, or just finding pucks that have eyes and getting into the net.
Dude, you sound just like a janitor. I think you need to join our Chell team. Do you have an Xbox?
Pucks
you
on
gotta
net.
join our
Happen.
team. That's our slogan, man. We just
I'm
pucks and
terrible
deep.
at Chell. I don't think I'd be a good addition there. I'm not very good.
Pucks on net, good things happen.
Yeah.
See, we're not good at real hockey. We're good at Chell.
Hey, well, speak for yourself, all right?
Hey,
So
Phil went off the other night apparently.
So what was it like when, I think it's this past October, when your rights got traded from Florida to Ottawa? How was that? Did you know that it was kind of in the works, or did you just one day get a call? How'd that work?
No, that was completely out of the blue. Obviously you don't expect to be traded when you're not even a signed player in the organization. No, I was driving to the rink. I think it was the Saturday game against Michigan State early in the year, and I was driving to the rink and got a call from Florida as I'm pulling into the rink, and just ignored it right away, and texted him and was like, I'll call you after the game, just pulling in the rink. He's like, no, you need to call me right now. And I just wonder what this could be about, right? That's so important. And he called and he's like, hey, was at the game last night. Thought you played well. We just traded you to Ottawa. I was like, I was not playing last night. Then he traded me the next day. But no, yeah, it was weird, I think. And then kind of walking into the rink trying to process what happened. Might have been a little distracted that game. Trying to process that, and obviously a lot of people reaching out and talking to my parents and advisors, and Ottawa as well, just kind of trying to get to know them. But yeah, it's definitely exciting when a team asks for you back in a trade. That makes you feel good about yourself, and I think it's kind of motivating too to have a strong season here. And yeah, obviously a lot can happen still with that, and just excited to see what that future holds here. But obviously have some business to finish here at CC as well. So I'm just excited for the next couple of months here. It'll be fun to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I looked at that trade, and I honestly think Ottawa won that one. I'm looking at Matt and I were talking about it before. I'm like, what did he get traded for? Was it pick for? I didn't understand that trade since you're not officially signed, as you said. But Matt was like, oh yeah, I'm looking at him like, damn, the guy he traded for. Oof. All right, nice.
Big yikes.
There was some pretty funny pretty funny tweets going around about that just from the Ottawa fans. Like obviously not knowing who a college kid is or anything. Like
Yeah, they're like, who's this
pretty
guy, right?
sarcastic tweet. I think I saw one that was like holy hell, we got Chris Wilkie, rebuilds complete. It was like getting some shit from the boys about that.
You gotta prove them wrong though. Get in there and get to work, boy.
Yeah.
Christian Wall plays for the Sens, right?
Yeah. He's
the first person to call you after that, or?
Yeah, I kind of reached out to him and told him about it. Yeah, I mean, pretty exciting to maybe have that chance to play with him again. See, basically grew up together our freshman year, living in the dorms with those guys, and don't get to see him too much anymore. Obviously, everyone's off doing their own thing. So yeah, I think that would be pretty cool to be able to play with him again. And obviously, one of my really good friends, so it's exciting.
So on a less serious note, who in the locker room is the best prankster, and what's the best prank that's been pulled?
You can tell us, obviously.
The best prank? I don't know. I mean, they're all pretty harmless. I mean, whether it's just like the water cup under the helmet and it's kind of soaky, ready to go out on the ice, or seeing it fill guys sticks up with water if they don't have a butt end in the top, they just get pretty practice. I think juniors we probably had a couple good ones. I mean, I saw guys would throw someone's clothes in the shower and then throw them in the training freezer for the whole day. And come off the ice and your clothes are frozen solid. That was probably one of the best ones I've seen. Or just like, I think us older guys will come in and write for a freshman to see coach on the whiteboard in the morning when we come into the rink, and they go into the coach's office like, "What's up, coach?"
Coach is like, "What the fuck are you doing in my office, dude? Get the hell out of here!"
You want to see me? And they're like, "No." I should feel like an idiot. But no, I mean, one of the biggest pranksters funniest guys I ever played with is probably Cam Johnson, who was our goalie in North Dakota. One of the funniest kids I've ever been around, just always making the guys laugh and pulling stupid stuff like that. So, yeah, no, I mean, obviously there's so many characters in the sport that I've played with, and I mean, he's a guy that sticks out. And then, I mean, this year probably Ben Copeland's one of the funniest guys. He's just so goofy, and he's always wired and hopping around, and just kind of, I mean, I don't think he always means to be funny. You kind of laugh at him sometimes, but yeah, no, we have a really, really fun team to be around this year. So it's always nice to come to the rink with that.
On the other end, is there someone that's kind of like, all right, guys, like let's get to business? Is there a player that's like that? It's like, everybody stop.
Yeah, no, I think you always kind of have the old grumpy guy that doesn't want to have any fun on any team that you're on. You kind of just leave those guys alone. You don't want to pull anything on them and be scared for what they might do back. You be in a punch or something in practice. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously you kind of know who you can target and whatnot, and who to avoid there.
So winning the gold pan last year, we mentioned that earlier before we started recording. Denver, I think, they were ranked very highly at that time. I think they were fourth. They always go up and down. So what was that like? I spent most of the game waiting for my Chinese food. That place took forever. And the little Chinese food place out in the concourse. So what was that like, kind of pulling off the upset to bring the trophy back to the Springs?
Yeah, no, that was awesome. I mean, obviously would have liked to be in the lineup for that weekend there at the end of the year, and not in a suit up in the stands, but still so cool to see us win that, especially after so many years of not winning it, and especially in the way that we did it, having to come in and sweep that last weekend in order to get it. So yeah, no, I think at the end of the year last year, the team really started to click and started playing well, and obviously we made some waves there, and with winning the first round as well, kind of getting on a roll there, and I mean, tough to see it end in the frozen faceoff, but yeah, no, the gold pan was awesome. It was just, I mean, obviously the fans and our coaching staff and the seniors that had kind of struggled against Denver for so long there. I mean, just like the seniors' excitement there was so cool to see. I mean, see older guys just crying and so happy. I mean, that's awesome to see. And I mean, obviously we're gonna have to win both games, I think, in the final series again this year to keep it. So yeah, I mean, obviously gonna be a challenge against a good team, but we definitely don't want to give it back to them.
Who would you say the most talented player you played against in college has been? Because that Omaha goalie stood on his dome the other night.
Yeah, I know he rebounded pretty well there after the Friday poll. Yeah, no, he played really well. That I played against. I think my freshman year we probably played against. I mean, Michigan had that top line with Kyle Connor and Confer and Mott. They were pretty special. Yeah, I mean that was pretty cool to see. We had the CBS line and they had that line to play against. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many good players in college. I think when I was younger, especially my freshman year, there were so many older guys that were unbelievable players. And I mean, trying to think here. I mean, it was we played against Ben Keller my sophomore year too. But yeah, I mean, there's so many good players. I think I mean, you see how many guys that are playing in the NHL now from college hockey that were so successful. But yeah, no, I think Michigan definitely stands out. I got to see him that one game, but yeah, and then I think when Denver had Dan Heinen and Trevor Moore, my freshman year as well, that was pretty special to watch those guys. I mean, obviously, I think we had probably one of the best lines ever in college hockey that year. My freshman year, almost just sit there on the bench like a fan sometimes and watch that line. I mean, that Miami goal still gets played everywhere on social media every year at the tic-tac-toe goal. So, yeah, no, it's always special to kind of look back on guys you played against and played with and kind of see how things end up for them. And yeah, no, it's definitely cool.
I think my last question would have to be, what was it like playing on the national development team with Jack Eichel?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I mean, that team was pretty loaded too. I mean, we had Jack and Sonny Milano and Dylan Larkin, and a lot of Anders Bjork was on that team as well. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, we all came in 15, 16 years old, like first time away from home. So we're obviously a really close group, kind of going through being a young team together. And I think we only won like 3 games that year in the USHL too, which is pretty crazy to think about with some of the guys we had on that team. But I mean, obviously playing in the USHL against 19, 20-year-olds is tough no matter how skilled of young guys you are. But yeah, no, that was even at 15, 16, you could see how special a guy like Jack was, and kind of just being able to see him every day in practice and the things he was able to do, and how hard he worked as well. I mean, it's obviously pushes you to be better too, and when someone that good is working that hard. And but yeah, it's special to just watch someone like that on a daily basis.
Yeah, it's crazy. I went to a Bruins Sabres game when I was home, and just seeing him buzz around, I don't know. He's so skilled, but he also plays with a fire that I've never seen a skilled guy play with before. Because Crosby he'll be fiery at times, but he'll still hide behind the ref so he doesn't have to get beat up.
Okay.
But Jack doesn't give a shit. He'll just jump right in the mix with whoever it is. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, and he's such a good skater too. It's just honestly incredible to watch that every day. Like, he kind of has an unorthodox, like, long, slow stride, but then he's just gone out of nowhere. And that was obviously kind of jealous there having to watch that every day. They're trying to keep.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just really cool to be able to be around guys like that on a daily basis, and you can take so many things from their game and try and apply it to your own. Probably won't always be as good as they can do it, but yeah, no, I mean, you definitely learn a lot playing with guys like that.
Well, that leads perfect into my one of my last 2 questions. Is there someone or maybe a group of people that you maybe like play your game after, like people that inspired you, like the way you play because of them? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, obviously everyone wants to be like Sidney Crosby and Ovechkin Eichel, but
Yeah.
that's not obviously going to happen. So, I mean, I kind of take things from a lot of players, and I love watching Nathan McKinnon. I think he's one of the most exciting players to watch every night, and
Phil
always,
shaking his head.
always pestering Joesty to give me tickets to be able to go out there and see the Abs play when we can during the week. But no, I think one of my favorite players to watch is Jonathan Marchessault. I think he's not the biggest guy, just works his ass off, and pretty good shooter, shoot first guy, and I mean that's how I play as well. Obviously, not the most assists this year, so
Don't win a Cy Young. You gotta get a couple more assists.
pretty good record right now. But no, I think the biggest thing I watch from guys is kind of how they shoot the puck as well. And watching a guy like Austin Matthews release the puck, I think there's so much you can take from that as well, just the way he changes the angle and things like that. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say there's one player that I exactly will try and mold my game after, but I think you can pick things from certain guys, guys skating and work ethic, and I mean, and then like someone that shoots the puck like Matthews. So I think you just kind of take things from different guys and try and apply it and work at that.
I like the Marchessault pull. That's kind of an unconventional and like a hockey guy answer.
Yeah, no, I went to by the end of my redshirt year, went out to Vegas with my dad for I think it was the San Jose series, and he was unbelievable in those playoffs when they made it to the finals that year. And just plays with so much energy and speed, and I mean he's obviously really skilled too, but doesn't get that as much recognition as some of the top guys. So yeah, no, I hadn't really watched it much before that series either, and then you kind of start to pay attention to it and do things, and just sit in class sometimes and watch goals and YouTube videos and stuff.
Yeah, that's all I did in high school too.
Attention class, yeah.
Yeah, we always say that it's like you can watch on TV all you want and it's great, but seeing someone play live is completely different. Like Marchessault's a guy like that. Watching him play live is just a whole nother level. Of like holy shit, he's really buzzing.
No, like I mean you can watch like when you see McKinnon skate in person or McDavid, it's like unbelievable to watch. Like you just in awe of how much bigger and faster they are than those guys, and you don't always catch those things on TV, and then in person, it's pretty special to watch.
All right, let me get my last question, Matt.
I got one more question. That's it.
Yeah, my last question is I'm gonna follow you on Instagram after this, but I was looking at your Instagram before, and I noticed you have a nice little celly on there. We like to celly hard and chill, and I'd like to know what is your favorite celly, and is it the one on your Instagram post, or do you have another move maybe you want to show us real quick? Because we're big celly guys.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever been like a huge celly guy. I think that one was, I don't know, I mean, must have been a pretty big goal or exciting or something. I usually don't go down to one knee and show that I am pretty standard. Just the fist pump, stick in the air. We have some guys that have pretty outrageous cellies, and it's pretty funny to watch. I think Cristiano versus takes off from goal line to red line every time he scores. So he gets chirped a good amount about that. But then, yeah, I mean, every time it's coming. But yeah, no, I usually try to keep it pretty simple, not do too much there, and
Let it come natural.
I respect it.
Let the celly come natural.
Just the NHL '94 hands in the air. And just...
Yeah, my last big question is kind of backtracking a little bit, but NCAA now changed, so you don't have to sit out that year when you transfer. Were you allowed to skate with the team that year, or were you completely on your own to train on your own?
No, yeah, it wasn't too terrible. I mean, obviously it's a long year because you want to play, but I mean, it was essentially just like being scratched every game. I mean, I still practiced normally every day and went on most of the road trips with the team and just helped out with video and the coaches and stuff like that. And that made it a little less painful just to be able to be a part of the team like that. But yeah, no, it's just, I mean, you're able to spend a lot of time in the weight room and practicing, staying on the ice extra and stuff like that because you don't have the pressures of being ready and fresh on the weekends. So I think it was, it obviously sucked at the time to have to sit out and kind of felt like, like 18 months or something between games there. So, it's obviously hard to do, but looking back on it, I think it was kind of mostly a mental refresher too that I needed coming off of a tough sophomore year. And then you really appreciate being able to play again, and definitely don't take anything for granted after that. So I think at the end of the day, it was kind of a blessing in disguise when you might not notice that at the time, but yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I'm pretty much, you probably got shit to do. So pretty much all the questions for now.
That's all I got.
Yeah,
Felt good.
We really appreciate you giving us some of your time. We know I'm in school also at the moment, so I know it's pretty hard, and you're an athlete as well, so I can't imagine what that's like. But we just really appreciate you coming out here. We're trying to get not too famous, but we want to have some fun. We do this on Xbox all the time, so we're like, why not try to make a podcast and let people listen to us? So we really appreciate having you come out here and give us a half hour of your time, because I know that's really tough these days. So
yeah, no problem. That's fun. First podcast ever. So
yeah, that's our first guest.
If you got any of the boys on the team want to come on after listening, just let us know.
So, first interview in the books. Felt like we did good. Give us feedback, what you guys think. Any more questions we could ask future people, just comment, share, text us. Who cares? But yeah, it felt good. Felt good to get him on the pod.
No, we're not asking how many broads he's fucked.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to do with the ladies and the drinking. We're pure stats. We're pure hockey. We're pure team guys. We got the facts. We got the stats. Tell it how it is, Matt.
We got the stats. We got the greasy goals. The last thing we'd ever want is to put someone who is trying to break into the league or any league, even someone who just has a regular job. The last thing we would want is to get them to say something stupid and ruin their chances of something, especially a dude who has a very good shot of making a minimum the AHL next year, potentially making the roster if he keeps playing at this level. So yeah, we kept it as PG as possible. A little hard for us. Maybe a little down the line we'll want to open up more, but we got a few things for today. As usual, this day in sports history is our first. 1961. This is January 26th. Phil's favorite hockey player, Wayne Gretzky, was born. 1963.
Shout out
the
to
MLB. The MLB in 1963 voted to expand the strike zone. And in 1980, the Islanders and Whalers played a penalty-free game. That's interesting because, one, that's uncommon to not have a penalty, and two, it was the 80s when people were like fighting and boarding each other every 5 seconds. So I thought
that's crazy.
Yeah. IT, what do you got for that?
All right. This one goes out to our very own P. Denny. P. Dents, a.k.a. Filthy Phil, a.k.a. P. Dents. In January 26th of 1997, the band and individuals, ZZ Top, James Brown, and the Blues Brothers performed at Super Bowl XXXI halftime show, which featured
31
Phil's team,
math guy,
the Patriots, and my friend Jay Katz, a.k.a. Yeffer, the Green Bay Packers. The score of that game, 35-21, with the winner being the Packers. Back to you, Matt.
Yeah, we sucked. We were trash.
This
31. I also want to just point out, big math guy, because I did that off the rip, off the heezy. Roman numerals ain't shit. I know fucking math, all right?
Big Latin guy.
Big Latin guy. I actually did take a year of Latin in high school. I don't remember shit from it, but I did. That did happen.
Dude, I don't know my Roman numerals. I just don't. Your boy never learned it. He couldn't pick it up.
Well, X's are 10, V's are 5, and then you got your
when
I.
I see them in a
and
line,
then if
I'm just
the
like,
I, and then if you put something before So if like you have IV, it's 4 because you're subtracting one. But if
I
it's
know
after
that,
you
but like
add,
I'm saying when I
yeah.
like see it written out like that, I'm just like X X X X. I can't just be like, oh, that's 26. Like no, like
You can't do three. You can't do 3 times 10.
3 times 10 plus 1. What?
yeah, but just like just to me, it's like oh X X X X V.
This is the future of America, everyone. Math is
You,
extinct.
you could literally take hand 5, hand 5,
Well,
foot
no,
5,
I mean
foot 5,
obviously
hand
after the
5,
fact,
hand
but
5.
like when you see X X X V I just right at your face, you're not like oh 26. You have to read that shit out.
You said 3 X's. You said XXXV. Oh, it's
It
36.
doesn't matter. I'm saying in general,
You said
bro.
26 though.
When you see like a number of when you see Roman numerals out, you're not like, oh, 36, 45, 50. You're not just like you have to like spell it out first.
All right, moving on. IT's just not a big math guy. It's
Anyway,
fine.
fun facts.
So, since our interview was with a big hockey guy, big team guy, want to lead with NHL talk. So here's a curious stat for the boys this day. This is from Reddit user NYC Landers. Don't know what the fuck that is. And NY, he's an Islanders fan.
well, it's Adam, so he can listen to the pod. Shout out.
If you/NYC Landers wants to hop on the pod, come on.
Hey, no free ads.
So 18 out of 31 teams have a win percentage over 500. The Islanders are first out of those teams in win percentage against other above 500 teams. Pretty good, right?
It's a pretty good stat.
Is that good?
Is that good?
They're also dead last in games and win percentage against below 500 teams.
That's not good.
So they're first in win percentage against other above 500 teams and dead last in win percentage against below 500 teams.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's
So you're playing better hockey against better teams, and you just play like shit against fucking teams that aren't going to make the
playing
playoffs.
to their competition, and that's really surprising coming from a coach like Barry Trotz, who's one of the best. Another stat to back up the inconsistency: Semyon Varlamov is having a Vezina talks kind of season, but in the last 3 games before the All-Star game, 3 games, 14 goals allowed. For those who don't math so good, that's a 4.67 goals against. Is that good? No, it's not.
No, that's not good at
And
all.
a save percentage of
Not good.
.848.
That's terrible. Holy shit.
That's 3-on-3 Chell stats right there.
That's not good.
Sounds
So,
like our
a
Chell
team-
record and
A team with
Janitors.
firepower and 2 solid goalies and a good coach they have, and consistency is killing them right now. So they're gonna have to figure something out.
I don't vibe with that.
Other piece of hockey news I had, Anthony Duclair. That man, I'm so happy for him, okay? So he's a 3rd-round pick by the Rangers. March 1st, 2015, got traded to the Coyotes. January 10th, 2018, trade to the Blackhawks. July 5th, 2018, signed with the Blue Jackets. February 23rd, 2019, trade to the Senators. So he's only 20, I should have wrote that down. He's like 23, 24. And he's bounced around. He's on his 5th or 6th team. But he just made the All-Star game with the Senators. Through 47 games, he had 21 goals and 12 assists for 33 points. That's on pace for 35 goals and 20 assists for 55 points at the end of the season. And you just love to see a guy like that just bounce around team to team, like people, calling him, saying he's, 3rd-round pick, not necessarily a bust, but, not really putting much stock in him. And then he finally gets traded to a team and just clicks, all-star, like on pace for 35-goal season. Like, you just love to see a guy find, like, it's got to be the biggest weight off his shoulders, bouncing around like that to find.
It's a similar thing that we talked to Wilkie about.
Yeah.
He didn't really vibe with the team in North Dakota, so he transferred to CC, and he loves it now.
Yeah, he
So-
even said sometimes, like you hear when people get traded, like he said, sometimes all you really need is just a change in environment. Sometimes, you have maybe just like a slight beef with someone on the team, or there's a coach you don't really vibe with. You get traded, and I can agree with that because like Taylor Hall, the whole Taylor Hall situation, basically, something wasn't right in the locker room, and the fact that he was an unrestricted free agent this offseason will put a lot of pressure on the team to try to sign him. So getting rid of him gives him a fresh start. Yeah, he's a bitch, but whatever. Anyway, so he's on Arizona, and maybe that'll work out for him. If not, he'll go probably maybe to Ottawa. Speaking of Canadian teams, I could see him going back up there, But yeah,
I mean, you can't really blame Taylor Hall for not vibing with the Devils.
Oh no, I wouldn't buy.
It's a dumpster fire in New Jersey right now.
Yeah.
So
it's a shit show.
Not vibing there is not something that's
like if I was a
player,
player, not a fan, I would be doing the same thing. I'm like, I don't know if I would buy into that because Ray Shiro's plan, obviously, to management didn't work out. John Hines didn't work out, and yeah, they have Jack Hughes, they have Nico Hischier, they have PK Subban, they have some other players that are growing. They're in the works, but just to have him be that person, they're always saying, "Oh, is Taylor going to resign? Is Taylor going to resign?" Every goddamn day. But now that question's gone, and I don't know if you noticed, but Nico Hischier actually went on a freaking rampage right after, and Blake Coleman, another player, went on a rampage right after. He got a hat trick that in his first NHL hat trick. I mean, to me, that shows that sometimes these players, yeah, Taylor Hall's an MVP player, but sometimes those players, they really do need a change of location. They need a change of pace. They just can't buy into that system. And I think that's exactly what Chris was talking about. And he's thriving, like Matt said. You saw him, and you even said to him, you're like, "Oh, dude, you were a powerhouse last night. You were just vibing everywhere. You were scooting everywhere.
Buzzing."
But that's what they need, and it's really nice to hear Chris because I know I would love to. Everybody deserves a shot, and this kid really wants to get out there, and it's really good to see him doing well. And he's a cool kid, great guy. We were talking to him for a while, and I really hope everything in Ottawa works out for him because the dude, I've watched his highlights. The dude has some nice plays, and I'm a big fan of Sellies, and I know he wasn't talking too much about the Selly, but we know deep down that man, he likes the Selly. Everybody likes the Selly.
That I've experienced that in real life. The just needing a change. It's not obviously fucking not on the same scale as Taylor Hall being in the NHL.
Yeah.
But I played for a coach in baseball when I was in high school, where I was like 16-ish, 15. He kind of buried me, and granted, I was a scrawny little 130-pound kid, but I was pretty much buried, and people were always like, "Why the fuck aren't you playing?" I'm like, "Dude's an idiot. I don't know." This is also the coach that, with 2 outs and the bases loaded, told a guy to bunt, and then yelled at him for not laying the bunt down with, again, bases loaded, 2 outs. But that's beside the point. So I went to a different team, obviously same town, but different team, different coach.
Yeah.
I was raking. I was playing every position, pitching, hitting, and he came up to me after one game and was like, "I should have played you more." I was like, "Yeah, you're probably right." But it's obviously the same scale. Obviously there's, like you said, Nico Hischier's going crazy. Yeah. Taylor Hall is a puck dominant playmaker. He's just getting more touches now. Yeah, he's just getting more touches.
Nico, the funny thing is, like you just said, Nico had so many assists, but wasn't scoring. And then you realize, wait, maybe his first thought is, "Oh, Taylor." That's what I'm saying. So, the point is that changes up the whole mentality, getting rid of, obviously, realistically, most teams should not get rid of their superstar, MVP, Hart candidate, winner. But, even so, sometimes that little adjustment can, not like the Devils are going to win the Stanley Cup or make the playoffs, but it does set them up for a future of success that obviously wasn't going to happen with that specific player in Taylor Hall.
In other hockey news, I'll jump right over to this. So the London Knights retired the man himself, Patrick Kane, retired his jersey number following his one season in London.
I saw that.
Where he put up a ridiculous 2.5 points per game. He had 62 goals and 83 assists in 58 games. He's a goal per, and he's almost 2 assists per.
Is that good?
Is that good? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that's good though. So it's really cool it's really cool to see that. Obviously, someday he's gonna have his jersey retired by Chicago as well. Just
absolutely.
the team that they put together and won those 3 cups with. It's pretty cool to see. But yeah, that's what I got for news. I want to talk a little bit about the All-Star game a little bit.
Okay.
So, in my opinion, this is probably a hot take for a lot of people, but the All-Star game, the way that they have it structured now, the skills competition was way better than the actual games were.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
And I think so. The Bridgestone, what was it? It was like the shooting shit from when they're like 30 feet up. That event was fucking stupid. Like, what the fuck was the point of that? What skill does that show? That you can sauce the puck fucking 150 feet. Like, cool, dude. No one cares. Like,
I saw when they got up there, they're kind of looking at each other like, this is fucking dumb. Like, get me down from here. But yeah, I totally agree with you. The skills contest, besides that weird thing at the end, skills contest, hardest shot, fastest skater, all that was awesome. I didn't even watch the 10-5 in the Pacific versus Central. No one wants that.
Honestly, I think the female 3-on-3 game was way more exciting than any of the other All-Star games were.
Those goalies stood on their heads, both teams. The Canadian women's goalie made some of the most ridiculous saves you'll see. They were all buzzing out there. Buzzing.
It's like, because for like the pro guys, it's just another year. Like, half of them have been there before. It's just it's a bullshit thing to like just fuck around and like have fun. But like for those girls, like it's still that rivalry there. Like, they fucking hate each other. Like, in the locker room, they're probably chill and like whatever. Like, you guys are cool, but like when it comes to actually getting on the ice and competing against them, they fucking hate them. That USA-Canada rivalry is not going anywhere.
Kendall Coyne, being the fastest female skater, she's also fucking funny. She's a perfect like front woman to grow the game of women's hockey. Like, she was mic'd up before the game when they're doing warmies. In warmies, she was mic'd up and she was like taking shots. She was like, "Does this make me a broadcaster / player at the same time?" Like, it was funny as shit. They're like, "Kendall, how you doing?" She's like, all out of breath. "I'm good." She's like buzzing around in warmies. Yeah, but women's hockey, like the NWHL, you can watch on Twitch for free. And after watching that, US and Canada, they all play in leagues like that. Yeah. And there's more good females out there. They had to narrow it down to like 10 skaters and a goalie. So there's more like them out there. That was the best event of the weekend.
I think women's hockey in Russia is actually more progressed than it is here, which is crazy to think, because like Russia is a very non-progressive place because they've been stuck with the same economy and government structure for so long. But their women's hockey is so far developed because it's basically like a women's KHL. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. I think they need to go back to the All-Star game being the way that it was, being 3 full periods as a whole structure, East versus West, rather than all of the separate subdivisions.
I definitely see what they're trying to do with having like a central team, a Atlantic team, because people want to see their favorite players in. Yeah. And like, some people, like Chris Kreider, there's definitely like, obviously he's good.
No,
obviously
he's absolutely
trash. Okay. But
let's calm
Chris
down,
Kreider,
buddy.
Right, this season, when you're looking at All-Stars, you're like, really, Chris Kreider? But as a Rangers fan, you want to see somebody. And I think Panarin...
Yeah, but wasn't he like a fill-in?
Yeah, Panarin was hurt.
Yeah, so that's fine.
But like, I know, but you could... They want to make it so each team has a player, but like, was Chris Kreider the second best player?
Oh yeah,
after
that's what
Panarin?
happened with Nico. Like, Nico, yeah, he's great, but like he shouldn't like be at the All-Star game. Did Chris Kreider deserve it over Gabe Landeskog? No, absolutely not. No.
But I agree with you, Phil. They should make it East and West, and 3 regular games.
The best 11 people or best 13 people, because they used to have a goalie per.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like in the NFL, they have a different quarterback per quarter. Like every quarterback gets a quarter to play.
Yeah.
And so the same thing with a goalie. So you have 3 goalies, and you have what? Do 2 full lines, maybe 3, just to push that a little bit. But you have 9 forwards, and then you have 6D, 15 big math guy, so 18 with the goalies. Not a big deal. I can do math pretty good.
Is that good?
No, but I don't know. I just think it should go back to an actual like game style rather than 3-on-3. Because I mean, yeah, 3-on-3 is exciting, but like none of them are trying. They don't give a shit. Like it's just they're fucking around. It's like a pickup game to these guys. They don't actually care.
Yeah, it's kind of like 2K when you're in the rec versus the park.
Don't get me started on that conversation right now.
Oh, that was perfect though. Tell me that wasn't perfect.
We're on Phil's ass this episode.
Yeah.
The
Well,
hunt.
that's pretty much all I got for NHL. I mean, it's been
I have
pretty
one-
uneventful based on the All-Star games not being there.
I have one thought, and then I have a trivia question for you guys. So,
Let's get it.
when I was watching the video of Colorado College winning the gold pan, is that good? Yes.
Yes.
I was thinking other sports, like when the Nationals won the World Series this past year, when they got the trophy presentation, it got handed to the president, the team president. In hockey, we all know when a team wins the cup or a trophy, it goes to the captain.
Hell
The
yeah.
captain touches it first.
Hell yeah.
The captain is the one. The first one to hoist the Stanley Cup is the captain.
Absolutely.
And he hands it, and there's the order.
Yep.
It doesn't feel right watching the play. I mean, the president had a piece in it. He built, like, he got the team together.
Yeah.
But the players, like in baseball, 162 games, hottest days of the summer, cold days at the beginning and the end of the season, cold playoff
and they're
games.
putting in all the work.
And the first person that touches the trophy is the president who sat, well, granted, the Nationals president sits behind home plate, but other team presidents, or even other sports, when they, like football, they hand it to the coach. I'd rather, if the Patriots win the Super Bowl, I think it should go to Tom Brady first. Like it should be, that's one thing that sets hockey apart is the team aspect. And there's the commercial during the All-Star game where they highlighted that in every post-game interview, they always say, we needed, because hockey's just different. I wish every sport would adopt that.
Yeah, it's not an I game. It's always a we game.
Yeah, exactly.
And captain should be the first one to touch it and then hand it off to the rest of the boys. And that's why I think another thing that sets hockey apart from other sports.
Big team sport. Yeah,
I agree.
absolutely.
So
Football, I can agree with handing it to the coach first because a lot of football is more based around scheme. Because in hockey, you can have a scheme, but in reality, you can pretty much just go out there and play pickup hockey. Obviously, structured pickup hockey where there's, contact but there's no real like set plays except on a power play is the only time that you really have like setups that you run by. But I mean, other than that, I think football it's a good system to give it to the coach first because the coach is the one that actually constructs the scheme and evaluates what they need to do to attack the team prior to the game. But I mean, still giving it to the players first would make more sense. I mean, the coach is going to get to touch the trophy at some point. I think the players are the ones that actually go out and earn it.
Right.
But I kind of understand football in that aspect.
So I hope you guys didn't cheat for this. Because I said I had some trivia about your favorite teams.
Oh,
I haven't looked
definitely
up-
gonna
I haven't
fail.
looked up
I
at all.
suck at trivia, dude.
Don't
I'm so
cheat.
bad.
This isn't really even trivia. So we'll do IT first and then Phil.
Oh, why is
Sounds
IT
good.
gotta go? Why is
IT
IT gotta go first?
You're a fucking bitch, dude.
IT
So
is up here in the level.
name
Phil?
as many of the top 10 goal scorers in Devils franchise history as you can. Don't
Oh
cheat.
shit.
Uh-oh.
Fuck.
Uh-oh.
Phil, don't cheat.
Patrick Eliash.
He's number one. I'll put you guys on the spot. This is
Scott Stevens is up there.
he's not top 10.
I mean, fuck, dude, that's
We
tough.
can even do this at the same time if you want. Give IT some time to think. Phil, go Bruins. Top
All
10
right.
goals.
So we'll stick with the standard. We'll go
Johnny
Bobby
Mack.
Orr.
Johnny Mack.
Yep, he's number.
Hey,
he's number
hey,
two.
it's my fucking turn. Pipe
Johnny
down.
Mack.
Orr.
I know that. I know
Ray
this.
Bork?
Go
Ray
ahead,
Bork
Phil. Though.
is number 4. Just take turns. Take turns.
Yeah, you go. You go, then I'll go. Hell yeah, let's do this.
About Brad Marchand's probably on there.
Brad Marchand is 8th.
Hey, that's
I
3
see.
for 3. Not
Travis
bad.
Zajac.
Yeah. Travis Zajac is 5th. Don't cheat. You better not be Googling stuff. I hear you clicking.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I swear to God.
I'll put my hands up here so you can. Let's see. Patrice Bergeron.
Patrice Bergeron is 6th.
Hell yeah, 4 for 4, baby.
The
The Devils is harder. With the
Zach
Bruins,
Parise, is he up there?
he's number 4.
Oh,
Good
fuck
one.
yeah.
Nice. Phew.
I know.
Joe
I
Thornton?
know one more.
Joe Thornton is not one.
Damn.
He only played
Four.
there for like 2 years.
He was there for more than that. He was there for a few years.
Well, he's not top 10.
Well,
I see
fuck
you
me.
got one.
Holik.
He's number 3.
I feel like Pasta's in there because he's fucking nasty.
Pasta is not there yet.
He will be soon.
Let me know when you guys tap out.
No, I know one more.
Man.
Name one.
Pat Verbeek.
Yes.
What about?
Am I stupid?
Yeah, you're
Gordie
dumb.
Howe.
Oh, Sakura.
Sakura is one.
Let's go.
He's
Devils.
number 8.
Oh,
Gordie
what's the
Howe.
Last one.
Gordie Howe is not on there.
Really?
Oh.
He definitely Googled it. He's Googled it, and then now he's like,
No.
Pondering while he's pretending to ponder while he's looking
No,
at the screen.
I'm dead serious.
Shit, man.
go for one more each. And I'll just tell you the rest of them.
No, it's not.
You're taking too long.
Yeah, I don't
David
know.
Krejci?
No.
I don't know.
I think
any
he's been there.
others.
He's been there for a fucking long time. That was
Alright.
just a guess.
So IT got 1 through 5. Eliash, McLean, Holik, Parise, Zajac.
Yeah.
Kirk Mueller is 6th. And then you got 7 and
Zajak's
8.
almost at 200, right?
Yeah, 192.
Oh fuck.
And
I thought
then
he was almost
Verbeek,
there.
Peter Sikora, Aaron Broughton, and Wilf Piemet. Never heard of her.
The fuck.
Phil, the Bruins, you got 4, 6, 8, and 10. 1, John Busick,
John Busick?
that guy.
Who?
2, Phil Esposito.
Oh my god,
No,
I missed
so-
that.
Yeah,
No,
I
you're
missed
Matt-
Phil Esposito. Are you kidding me?
Matt, I didn't Google it, but I
You're the
have
same name.
the Devils roster up here from like the last decade, and I'm just looking at names. I'm like, oh, fuck,
Damn.
You
definitely.
did cheat, you son of a bitch.
That's not a
Utter
cheat.
cheating.
That's not a cheat. I did not
So-
know this question was coming up. I just pulled up the roster real quick, so I remembered names. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, definitely him.
So, Rick Middleton, you got Ray Bork at 4. Cam Neely 5. You're dumb for not knowing that one.
Jesus
Ken Hodge 7. Wayne Cashman 9.
Wait, who is number
Fuck are
6
those last two?
for Devils?
Who's number what?
Who's number 6? You said I got the top 5. Who's number 6?
Kirk Mueller.
Kirk. Oh, fuck. Oh,
So-
Pat
I
Verbeek
forgot
was
Cam
7.
Neely. What a fucking idiot, dude.
Yeah, you're not even a Bruins fan. You're bandwagon.
Pete
Yeah,
Sakura
okay.
was 8? Oh, I thought Pete Sakura was higher than that.
So,
Oof.
I think
The only ones that I'm mad about missing are Cam Neely and then Middleton.
Ooh, Eliash has almost 400.
So that pretty much wraps up hockey. I think it's a good
Oh,
time to
doesn't
go.
boy.
wrap up hockey.
Let me
Shout out
get
to the
it.
Devils. Kyle
Let
Palmieri
me
comes
get
back.
it right now. Give me the stage. I need the power.
Kyle
What?
Palmieri's back.
Oh, you already know what I'm going in on.
Are you gonna say some dumbass shit about Lamar Jackson? But I'm gonna
No,
ruin you.
no.
Are we
What is
switching
it?
sports?
All right, we're jumping
Eli
into
Manning.
football now.
Eli Manning.
Yeah,
No,
I'm jumping
Phil.
all up on Eli Manning shit right now. All
Get him,
right,
Phil. Get him,
first
Phil.
of all, first off, number one question: should Eli Manning be a Hall of Famer? And
Yes.
if you have to even think for a second if someone should be a Hall of Famer, they should not be.
That's not true.
Not
Yes,
true.
they should. That
He's
is
got
absolutely
the hardware.
correct.
He's got
'Cause
the
in-
numbers.
Okay,
And-
no. Stop. This is my rant. Back off. All right, when you think about Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, all of them, without any question in your mind, they're Hall of Famers. Not a question.
Facts.
So, we have the subpar Eli Manning with the outstanding record of 117 and 117 in his career, win-loss.
Regular
Trash.
Season doesn't matter.
Okay, so in the two, okay, so he didn't make the playoffs 7 of his last 8 starting seasons. Trash. Garbage. Where's
mean,
that defensive line? It's gone. See you later.
2-0 in Super Bowls
Thanks
is
for
really
coming.
the only record that
2-0,
matters.
2-0. Yeah, but he's got to make it. Tom Brady's been to 9 Super Bowls. Yeah, he's bound to lose a couple, especially to that defensive line. Are you kidding me? Michael Strahan, the most sacks in a season? Yeah, okay. Thanks for coming. Eli Manning had 57,023 yards in his career. That's pretty good. He's top 10. I think he's number 7 in the ranking for that.
Is that good?
That's pretty good. A very abysmal touchdown to interception ratio with 366 touchdowns to 244 picks.
That's all picks.
That's not good. He led the league in interceptions 3 times. 3 times he led the league in interceptions. Out of 158.3 that you can get in a passer rating, for his career he had an 84.1. That's not good.
Not good.
That's not good.
Not good.
Not good.
Trash.
He
sucks. He's terrible.
He's a
He's terrible.
three-time Pro Bowler out of 16 years. 3.
Popularity contest.
Exactly.
I don't give a shit. He didn't make a single All-Pro. That's not a popularity contest.
Yeah, that's facts.
It is now, but he's not.
He was never the best quarterback in the league.
He's never, ever been the top, even in the top 5 in a season. And of course, you got the 2-time Super Bowl champ. So his only saving grace, and I'm going to tell you right now, this is what's going to get him into the Hall of Fame. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer just for the fact that he beat Tom Brady twice, once in an undefeated season. That is the only mark that Eli Manning even slightly deserves a look at for.
Right, but reaching the pinnacle of football, all the kids in the world who play it, he was the quarterback of 2 Super Bowl teams.
Yes.
2-0 against the best quarterback of all time. So I don't think he deserves to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, maybe not even 5 ballots. But I think, down the road, he'll get in. I don't think, if he gets first ballot Hall of Fame, I would agree with you there and say he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. But I think to beat the best quarterback of all time, and you could chalk it up to whatever, all that matters at the end of the day is he has 2 Super Bowl rings. And I think if he gets in first ballot, I'll be like, But I think down the line, he'll be one of those guys like farther down the line. Like Larry Walker just made the MLB Hall of Fame. We'll get into that later. But he wasn't first ballot.
No.
And he made it, and everybody was like, yeah, that's fair. I think.
See, so that's my issue, is because he's a Manning, because he's Peyton's brother, and because he's Archie's son, he's going to be first ballot Hall of Famer. Those 2 Super Bowls should not define the very mediocre career he had in New York. And also, the fact that he refuses to play for a franchise is ridiculous. You're a professional fucking athlete. You don't get to choose your fate like that. Wait till you're a free agent, then you can go wherever you want. Yeah, that's some bullshit playing strings with that like that.
I definitely agree with you there. That was some bum shit at the beginning. But all regular season stats aside, 2-0 against Tom Brady is gonna get him in eventually. No,
100%. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying he does not deserve to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I agree with you.
And in my opinion, I don't think he deserves to be a Hall of Famer at all. But
that's because of what team you like. I mean,
no, that has nothing. I'm being very unbiased right now. Okay.
So
I could give a shit less if he beat my team or he beat the fucking Chiefs 7 times.
Here's a comparison. Do you think Phillip Rivers deserves to be in the Hall of Fame?
No.
I do.
I do not think Phillip Rivers. So Barry Sanders quoted. I don't have the quote. I didn't write the quote down. But Barry Sanders said, "This is one of the best players in NFL history." Of course, when you hear his name, you think Hall of Famer. He said when it comes to being in the Hall of Fame, you had to either redefine the way the game was played, redefine your position, or be at the pinnacle of your position, which he doesn't have any first-team All-Pros or any second-team All-Pros, so obviously he wasn't the pinnacle of his position ever. Right. Because Super Bowls are a team thing. You can say the same thing for Tom Brady. You take away all of Tom Brady's rings, is he going to be a Hall of Famer? First or second ballot, probably third, maybe.
The thing about that, though, is if Eli Manning didn't do his job, they wouldn't have won. He did his job, he didn't light the. It's like Alex Smith. Alex Smith never lit the world on fire. He did with Tyreek Hill, but the rest of his time with the 49ers and the rest of his time with the Redskins, he didn't light the world on fire. He just got the job done. So at minimum, Eli Manning got the job done, and that's
but that's not the criteria to get into the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Getting the job done is something that you're paid to do. It's your job, is to do your job and go out and win football games.
So individually and positionally, he was never number 1 in the league, but he got the job done at the pinnacle of pretty much the pinnacle of pro sports. This is the sport that owns a day of the week. He got to the top of the top against the best quarterback ever. So I think he deserves to be in. I would say minimum 3 ballots. So isn't there a 5-year wait before he can be inducted?
Yeah, so he's not eligible until 2025.
So I would say if he gets in earlier than 2029, I'll be like, meh. But after that, I'd say it's fair.
I don't know, man. I just don't think that he ever did anything special enough individually. Because this isn't about. So when I think of Hall of Fame, I think you should cover the rings. Don't look at how many Super Bowls they had. It doesn't, because that doesn't matter.
It does though. It really does.
This is my hot take on that.
Dan Marino never had one, and Dan Marino's one of the GOATs.
Yes, correct. So that's the way that I think that they should be judged. They should be judged individually, not off team accomplishments. How many MVPs did you have? How many Super Bowl MVPs did you have? How many times did you lead the league in passing? How many times did you lead the league in touchdowns? How many times did you throw the least interceptions? It should all be based on individual accomplishment, because the Hall of Fame is not a team. It's not a team event. It's not, hey, Tom Brady's got 6 rings because he had pretty damn good teams. Hey, Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls against the greatest quarterback of all time. Great. That's all well and good. But what did he individually do to earn himself into the Hall of Fame? In my opinion, he did not do enough to make it to the Hall of Fame. But he will. I mean, what am I going to say? I can't hate the guy. I mean, he's a good guy. He never did anything explicitly wrong. He's very quiet. I mean, he's very approachable. He's just the guy. But I just don't think his accomplishments deserve him a spot in the Hall of Fame.
I definitely think your argument is valid.
But I digress. He's going to make it into the Hall of Fame, probably first or second ballot. I don't think he should, but I think he will.
So since we're talking about playoffs.
About playoffs?
So what's our picks for the Super Bowl?
I'm going 49ers only because I hate the Chiefs. And the only reason I hate the Chiefs, just to clear this up for everyone, is it because they're so good. Their offense is something that this league has never seen before, ever. Patrick Mahomes can throw the ball with his eyes closed behind his back 60 yards, and he's going to complete a pass to Tyreek Hill. It's crazy. But I think they're going to meet their match with this defense, because I think the 49ers defense is a real deal. That's a real defense back there. So I'm going 49ers 31-27.
Oof.
I don't think it's going to be a runaway either way.
What do you think, IT?
I think it's gonna be a good game. I do also agree with Phil. I think the 49ers are gonna pull away. I think just that defense with Richard Sherman. I don't know. I think it's gonna be a close game too. I don't think it's gonna be a pull away. I don't know the score in my head, but I'm not a numbers guy. You know, with the XXVI bullshit we were talking about before. But I want it to be a good game. I don't want it to be a blowout. I don't want it to be, just like a boring 0-0 until the end. But I want it to be a quarterback battle. I want it to just be, or a defensive battle, if anything. I want it to just be a good game. And,
I kind of wrote like the keys to the game, what I thought each side needed to do. The Chiefs got to stick to what they're doing. Madden shit, right? Just let Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, just let them take over. Let them go play their backyard football. And their defense needs to step up like it has been. Their defense has been good. They just need one more game because the defense is absolutely not their strong suit. They definitely they just one more game. Just give it their all. The Niners, they need to control the ball, which is exactly what we said the Titans need to do against the Chiefs. They need to control the ball. They need to eat clock. The Niners need to make this game boring. They need to shut Mahomes down with that ridiculous D-line. They need to get the ball, and they need to ground pound it. Run every play clock down to 1. 3 yards a carry, 2 yards in a cloud of dust. Give it to the fullback. They need to make the game boring because the Chiefs are going to make it crazy as much as they can. That all being said, I think the Chiefs are going to get ahead early, and it's going to be up to Jimmy G. He hasn't had to carry the team at this playoffs yet. So it's going to be up to Jimmy G. I think the Chiefs are going to win. I think they're going to get ahead early. They're going to play backyard, old-school football. and I think the Chiefs are going to win. I'll say 31-17.
So I think that would be the only thing I disagree with is that the Chiefs are going to come out early. Just because that defense, the 49ers defense is going to come out flying off the rip.
Yeah.
And also, the Chiefs have come out stagnant 2 games in a row. They haven't looked great off the rip. So I think they're going to come out a little flat. Of course, they're going to get it going because they're the Chiefs offense. That offense is just something that have never been held before. But I think the 49ers will come out. If the Chiefs are going to win, I think it's going to be a comeback victory, as it has been the last couple weeks.
So Andy Reid has shit the bed a couple times in his career. He's not getting older. He's not getting skinnier. This is for all the marbles. I don't think there's going to be any flaws in his gameplay. And historically, regular season, Andy Reid's a great game planner. He puts together great game plans. I think he's going to put every ounce of what he's got. Not that he doesn't on a week-to-week basis, but this is different. I don't think he literally, for his career, for his life, he can't afford to shit the bed on this one. Because if it's not this year, he's not coming back. So he shit the bed with the Eagles. He shit the bed in early playoff games where they should have won in his past. I think the Chiefs come out flawless and firing.
So that's another one of my reasons for taking the 49ers is because there's zero pressure on the 49ers to win this game. Because they're a very young team. They're only going to get better. Jimmy Garoppolo's in his first full season of starting football, and he led one of the best offenses. That defense is firing on all cylinders. I think all the pressure is on Kansas City and Andy Reid to come out and win this game, and I think 49ers can take it. And if they don't, they got some valuable Super Bowl experience to take them into next year because that team's not going to change very much. They're very, very young, and the only thing that they might do is add a better running back to spearhead the running offense. Because, I mean, Raheem Mostert, who the fuck is that? I mean, he came out with 200-something yards last week, but that doesn't mean he's still a number one back. I think they'll add a good back, maybe a rookie. Maybe they'll draft one. I don't know. They're going to have a high pick, so it's not going to really matter too much. But I think
low pick.
Low, yeah, that's what I meant. I was thinking high as in
high
like
number. Yeah.
High numbered, yeah. But I think that's the only thing that they're lacking right now, and that's experience. But also, Kansas City doesn't have any Super Bowl experience either. A lot of the dudes on the Kansas City have never been in a Super Bowl. Terrell Suggs on the defense is the only one that has the experience and actually has a ring. So I mean, San Francisco doesn't really have anything to lose. So they could come out firing.
Yeah, with the way San Fran is set up, if they don't win this year, even if they do win this year, there's nothing stopping them from making another run next year.
Back. They're coming back.
The whole defensive line is all first-round picks. The
San Fran is literally the perfect scenario of a rebuild. Absolutely flawless rebuild.
Young coach, good quarterback, good offensive line, good defensive line. The most important positions out there.
One of the best tight ends in
George Kittle,
all of pro football.
Lovable guy.
I don't know, man. But yeah, I mean, if Kansas City does win, it is what it is. Mahomes boy gets his ring. Andy Reid finally gets his ring. But I think this is the peak for Kansas City. I don't think they're going to be continuing to contend every single year for a Super Bowl. Just because eventually they're going to have to pay all these guys. Yeah. And it's going to get fucking expensive.
Pat Mahomes is going to be the next new highest paid quarterback.
Absolutely. He's going to make $44 million a year next year. I guarantee it.
Deserves every penny.
Oh, absolutely. But I don't think they're going to be able to afford to re-sign Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Demarcus Robinson, Mecole Hardman, Travis Kelce, and then that's the only offensive side of the ball. You're not even getting to Chris Jones. Terrell Suggs is old. He's probably not going to play much longer. He's 37. I'm surprised he's still playing, but I mean, he's still playing at a high level. So same thing with Tom Brady. If you're still good, why quit? I don't know. I don't think Tyrann Mathieu. I mean, he just got traded there, so I'd imagine he's going to come up in the next few years to have to be re-signed. So it's going to be tough for them to maintain success like this. But we'll see if Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid can keep it going.
So that's about all I got for football.
Yeah, let's move on to
all I got.
next.
Baseball. So, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. So, I'm going to lead this off. Here's a list of players with 3,000 or more hits, 250 plus home runs, 350 plus stolen bases, and a 300 batting average. Derek Jeter. That's the only person on the list. 3,000 hits, 250 or more home runs, 350 stolen bases, and a career 300 hitter. Only one on the list is Derek Jeter. And one dumb motherfucker didn't vote for him for the Hall of Fame. So this is exactly what we were just talking about with Eli Manning. Eli Manning was never the best quarterback in the league at any point. Derek Jeter was arguably the best shortstop in the league for 20 years.
Right.
20.
20 years of being
absolutely
till his last at bat when he hit a game-winning hit walk-off against the Orioles.
And
till
everyone's
his last
gonna
at
admit
bat.
that too. That's not even just a Yankee fan.
I'm a Red Sox fan.
Yeah, Phil's a
and
fan.
I fucking love Derek Jeter.
Yeah, you can't not love the guy.
He's the consummate professional. He always step up to the big situations, which we preach on the Janitors. Can he appear when the time matters? One of the clutchest players ever.
Absolutely.
You could watch highlights of him diving, sacrificing his body for the fucking boys. Huge team guy.
Absolutely. Lays the body on the line.
One person said the best shortstop of the last 20 years with all these accomplishments, with several World Series rings, with everything. Dated Mariah Carey. I mean, come on.
No, you look at his lineup for who he dated. There's a whole chart. It's all the bases are full.
So, one person, one baseball writer, gets paid money to vote for this shit, and get him out of there. Get him out of there. Like,
I just want to know. I really just want to have a conversation with this guy and ask him and understand why the fuck he did not vote for Derek Jeter. What went through your head that said, best shortstop in the last 20 years? Lot of rings. I don't know. I just don't fucking like him. He's a Yankee. Fuck him. I don't care. What?
You're getting paid to be neutral. You're getting paid to be unbiased and do the right thing. People who obviously he got in. He hit 99.7% of the votes. That's not what I'm mad about. I'm mad that somebody is making more money than me to do dumb shit like that. It's infuriating. He's in. Larry Walker is in. Both very deserving. They're the only two that got in this year. I think in the next couple years, see, the steroid guys
I think that's a very touchy subject because I think we talked about this earlier when we were talking about who made it and who didn't.
Yeah.
It's like Roger Clemens. He had steroid issues, but when you look at a pitcher or any player, and they can come back from steroid use, so they stop using steroids and they're tested more often, more frequently, and they're still pitching at a very, very high level. Why? What makes? Because he did steroids when everybody in the fucking league was doing it?
Everybody was.
Are you kidding me? Barry Bonds was still has the most home runs in MLB history.
762.
That's a lot. That's a lot of home runs.
Yeah. And he was blatantly on steroids the whole time.
And so was Mark McGwire.
Yeah.
And so was Sammy Sosa.
It's hard.
It's stupid, man. I think it's so stupid.
It's hard because they did cheat the game, but so was everybody. So can you hold it against them if everybody was doing it? I think they're going to wait. I think Barry Bonds eventually and Roger Clemens eventually
they'll all definitely get in, but I just don't see.
What hurts Roger Clemens is that he wasn't just like, oh, he took steroids. In the Mitchell report, he got named almost 90 times as he was basically the El Chapo of steroids. So he was.
So I don't have the stats or anything pulled up, but I'm actually curious to hear what your take is on this. So what is your take on Kurt Schilling not making it?
Ooh.
See,
because he was a pretty solid pitcher in Boston.
I'm a huge Schilling fan.
And Arizona.
Yeah.
And the Red Sox game, bleeding through his sock, noticeably in pain every single time he touched the rubber, and he still pitched well.
Yeah.
I think was he a steroid guy?
I don't think so. That's what my issue is. I don't think he was ever on steroids.
All right,
I would have to look it up.
Check it out.
Because
But I
He
don't know.
has
There's a
216 career wins. Pedro Martinez had about the same amount, and Pedro Martinez just got in. 6-time All-Star, 3 World Series, a World Series MVP, 2-time wins leader, 2-time strikeout leader. So he never won a Cy Young. So he was never the best pitcher.
was this his first crack at the Hall of Fame?
No,
No,
I don't think so.
not his
Because
first
he
year
retired
of
in
eligibility. No
retired
way.
in '07.
Yeah, no
He
way.
retired in '07.
It's not his
Oh
first.
yeah.
So-
So he's had a few looks for it at this time. He's got
It's
he's got
gotta be
3
something.
rings, and he's got the same amount of wins
Yes.
as Pedro Martinez.
He has over 3,000 strikeouts. I don't really know exactly the holdup, and the no Cy Youngs might be part of it. He was never the best pitcher in his league that year in the AL or NL. I think I'm kind of surprised that he's not in. I don't know. I think he'll be a guy that he'll get in the next couple years.
I mean, he's
But-
got to. That's heartbreaking for the game. Like seeing a guy, he's just not a big name. I think that might be like part of the issue is like people just might not know who Curt Schilling is.
Right.
Oh, here's something. Not to get political around here. We're not a big politics. We kind of leave that out of sports, but he is an outspoken conservative.
Ooh.
And Schilling
That-
joined Breitbart in 2016. So maybe that has something to do with it.
And honestly, the way that things are going these days, you never know like what could be affecting someone's vote.
it is the media. It's sports writers that are voting. So I hope that someone's political view has nothing to do with their play on the field unless they're like a Nazi. If they're literally screaming "Hail Hitler" after every pitch, that's different.
That's very different.
I feel like that's just like diminishing the integrity of the game and the whole purpose of being a Hall of
Yeah.
Famer.
yeah, like
You gotta leave that shit off the bat.
yeah, he never brought politics into baseball. He never was talking about it when he was playing. So I hope that has nothing to do with it. I hope they're just like he only has 216 wins, no Cy Youngs. He'll get in eventually. I hope that's what it is. I hope it's not politics, but yeah, I think he deserves to get in the next. And again, I'm a Red Sox hater, just like you support Derek Jeter. My unbiased sports guy opinion, I have to say Curt Schilling at some point will be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah, I just want to put this out there for anybody that does listen consistently. My sports bias never, ever comes on this show. So whenever we're doing the podcast, I'm coming from a completely statistical or opinionated standpoint. I'm never coming at someone based on the fact that I'm a Patriots, Red Sox, Bruins, or a fucking Celtics fan. So
Except Wayne Gretzky, but
well,
that's-
no. I just fucking hate Wayne Gretzky. It has nothing to do with who he played for. I just fucking hate the guy.
So this is another quick kind of rant. The Rockies have been shopping around Nolan Arenado, my pick for the all-decade team at third base. The guy that's led the league in home runs 3 times. See this off the top. I don't have this written down right here. Led the league in home runs 3 times. I think he's won 7 straight Gold Gloves as the best third baseman in the NL. 4 straight Platinum Gloves, best fielder in the league. He's that guy that when you look around the stadium at Rockies games, everyone has his jersey. That's the kind. He's the Nathan McKinnon. He's the stud. He's the Nico Hischier, the star. Not only is he the star that everybody loves, he's literally the best third baseman in the league. And the Rockies are talking about trading him. Trading him. If he's an average player, like DJ LeMahieu left in free agency, if they traded him, yeah, he's a good all-star caliber player. Nolan Arenado he's on the level. Mike Trout's in his own category, way up here. Nolan Arenado is right there with Anthony Rendon, people like that. Trading him, I swear, I'm sure nobody on the Rockies listens to this. I'm not going to games anymore. If you trade Arenado, I'm not coming to games. I'm not. That's a franchise-killing move right there.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent of the Avs like, we'll trade McKinnon, or the Capitals, we'll trade Alexander Ovechkin. He's not going to retire, Cap. That's the equivalent. That's the magnitude. That's the Pats 5 years ago trading Tom Brady. That's the magnitude of this. Like, and it's just casually around the internet. Whatever team is interested in Nolan Arenado, that's not a thing. That's on Shell when you're doing franchises and the value bar is completely full because you're not fucking getting them. Nolan Arenado, if the bar ends here, he should be breaking through that. There's no one in the league. a lot. This is an old school baseball term. He's a five-tool player. He can hit for power, field, run, all of it, steal bases, all of it. Like, the Rockies better not trade him. I swear to God, I'm never going to. I'll throw my Rockies hat. If they trade him, I'm throwing my Rockies hat in the dumpster.
Same. I have one.
That's a franchise move. If the Rockies trade Arenado, they're not exactly in the best position now. They're not making the playoffs for 10 years. If you listen to this, Rockies, don't fucking trade him.
Yeah. Also, we want to fucking invite you to the podcast to counter Matt's argument.
Nolan Arenado, if you're listening to this, I would love to have you on the pod, and we'd probably spend the entire half hour, 45 minutes interviewing you, just stroking you off. So I don't know if that like appeals to you or anything, but come on.
Yeah.
I would just be like 7 Gold Gloves. Is that good?
Is that good?
4
Phil's screen would just go dark.
Is that good? Phil, you just hear his sound cut off. He's like, I'll be right back.
His sound goes off.
Be right back,
his video cuts out.
Like, I'm not a big baseball guy, but like when you hear names like Mike Trout, fucking Nolan Arenado, Mookie Betts, you're like, God damn,
Anthony Rendon just left.
Anthony Rendon,
Max Scherzer,
like it's just like, God damn, those are big baseball names. David Ortiz. That's like the Red Sox trading David Ortiz. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
You're gonna give up Big Poppy? Get the fuck out of here.
There's people that are MVP caliber like Taylor Hall who are bouncing around everywhere.
Yeah.
And then there's franchise cornerstones. That's the Yankees trading. That's the Yankees trading prime Derek Jeter. That's a franchise cornerstone. Arenado is the cornerstone of the Rockies franchise right now, and he should be until he hangs it up. That they should give him a lifetime deal. They should give him a blank check and say, how much money do you want? That's the kind of player he is.
Especially in baseball, you can do that shit anyways.
There's
if you're a good player, you can just hand him a check and be like, hey, dude, how much money do you want?
Hey, Nolan, you want to be a billionaire? Come by my office.
Come through, dog. I got you.
That's all I got for baseball. That's the second week in a row that my heart started beating fast over baseball stuff. So,
it wasn't even my topic, but my heart started beating fast. I got a little excited about that.
Yeah.
But I think that's pretty much all that I have for this episode. I don't know what you guys have left.
I got one more note.
I know Matt's got some outdoorsman stuff to talk about.
On the outdoorsman front.
Yeah, let's hear it. Shout out to the
happy about this. Yeah, not too happy about this news.
Oh,
so,
shit.
I saw an article from the Theodore Roosevelt Conservation Partnership, trcp.org. Marnie Banks is the author of the article. Basically, the EPA redefined what waters are eligible for the Clean Water Act protections. So they changed the definition of what they were going to protect with the Clean Water Act. And it's leaving kind of a lot of what was protected water unprotected. So who knows what's going to happen with that? But yeah, that's literally the water running through our earth. You want to protect that as much as you can.
Protect that shit. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So
it's not a big deal. You're only 70% water, and you kind of need it to live. But is that good?
Okay.
Not a big deal.
It's not
the
good.
quote from the CEO of the Theodore Roosevelt Conservation Partnership, he said, "This announcement flies in the face of all hunters and fishermen who have contacted the EPA saying they oppose this decision. These rollbacks undermine the intent of the Clean Water Act, which has a proven track record of protecting America's waters and supporting a healthy habitat. This new rule will leave roughly half the nation's wetlands and almost 1 out of 5 of its stream miles without federal protection from pollution. In drier western states, as many as 90% of stream miles will not be protected from being polluted." 90% of waters out west, that's Colorado, that's where we live, that's where I live right now. They're basically shitting in the face of all outdoorsmen, all people who give a shit about the earth. Like, even if you don't fish, even if you don't, if I just told you in a vacuum, the government just said 90% of water can go fuck itself, we're not protecting that anymore for pollution. So they did, according to this article also, they did a national poll. 93% of hunters and anglers say the Clean Water Act benefited the country. 80% additionally, they said the Clean Water Act should apply to headwaters, streams, and wetlands. So there's a lot of people pissed off about this, very, very rightfully so. I like, big outdoorsman guy, so I just want to
Hell yeah.
keep in the news that write your senator, write your congressman, whatever you want to do. Just know that the government is trying to say 90% of water can not be protected anymore. So
True. Also, I have one more thing to say to the viewers. Many of you don't know this, but I was actually in a car accident recently. And I just want to say, don't text and drive. It can really wait. Make sure you're paying attention. Buckle your seatbelt, because I was very lucky to walk away from that accident. And, if you don't have a dash cam, you should probably get one, because it saved my ass, and I actually got the guy who caused the accident. So I'm doing all right, but my car might be totaled. But other than that, make sure you buckle up. Don't text and drive. And, yeah, shout out to Kobe Bryant.
Don't road rage.
Yeah, don't do any roid rage.
You know what's crazy about that,
Road
too?
rage.
I think the same day that you got in your accident, you were, texting us about it. I was on my way to work. And so when I pull out of my neighborhood, I, turn left onto this main street, and then I go connect to, the main road that brings me down to work. So I was coming through, and there's an intersection where there's a McDonald's and there's a shopping plaza. And I was coming through, and this dude there's no arrows at this intersection. It's just green lights. And I was literally crossing the line where you're supposed to stop for the light, and this dude just cuts me off right in front of me.
Yeah.
Last second. And I was like, damn, I need to get a fucking dash cam, because
luckily
that could have been so bad.
If you were looking down at your phone or something,
honestly,
if you're looking down at your phone, you could have been in an accident.
Dude, all it takes is...
if I was lighting a cigarette, or if I was putting a dip in, or I was checking my phone, or I was taking a drink of water, I literally could have been in a really bad wreck.
Dude, I'm telling you, after this experience, it literally takes that snap of your finger.
So, I mean, I drive an F-150, so my truck probably would have been pretty okay.
Yeah.
But his car would have been gone.
Yeah.
I
clipped your ass.
He drives a Prius. That dude would have been gone.
Yeah.
Oh, one more thing. I keep saying one more thing. Two more things real quick. Question sent in by a listener.
Oh,
who's your favorite player in each sport that's not on your favorite team?
Oh.
Favorite hockey player not on your team. Favorite.
All right, I got this. Ready? I'm gonna go through this. All right. So, baseball. I've already voiced my opinion. Nolan Arenado. Football. I'm gonna go with probably go with Jimmy G. Used to be a Patriot. Does that count? I love him. I just love the guy. He's a great guy. Fucking hot. I'd bang him. Shit, dude. Hockey, Nathan McKinnon. Avalanche, of course. Great guy. Let's see. Basketball. I used to really like Russell Westbrook, but I think he's kind of a chode now.
Not a big team guy. He's just
not a big team guy at all.
Treats
honestly,
reporters like shit.
Honestly, so I think for basketball, I would either go Rudy Gobert.
Good one.
Or Giannis Antetokounmpo. Just because they're both huge team guys. They both love the sport more than they love anything else, and all they want to do is win.
Big defense, two-way players, yeah.
Big two-way players. And then I think that's for major sports, unless you have any other sports that you want me to go over.
No, that's
true.
The big four. I mean, there's tons of sports, but
my favorite NASCAR driver that's not on Team Gibbs. I'm just kidding. IT, what's yours?
All right, hockey. I got Alex Ovechkin, just because I've been living in the D.C., Baltimore area, and I go to a ton of Caps games. And the dude he's got an office, man. How could you not? I mean, the dude...
There's a section of the ice that he owns.
Dude,
literally,
owns that shit.
That comes down to, Hall of Fame voting. Do you have a section of the ice that is
that ice?
Quarantined off to be the office?
He also will be the leading goal scorer when all's said and done.
Absolutely.
And
go ahead,
fuck Wayne Gretzky.
Basketball, I'm going my boy D Wade.
Oh yeah,
D Wade's a great dude.
Well,
solid dude.
Technically, he's not active NBA right now.
I didn't specify.
I understand where you're coming from.
But
I
recently,
agree.
last year.
I was going for active.
Okay. Well, either way. All right.
Randy Moss.
And then baseball, I'm going Mookie Betts. I love Mookie Betts.
Oh man, I love that man.
I do actually really love Mookie. And then for football, I'm going Marshawn Lynch.
Oh, I love it.
I fucking love everything about that man. The Skittles, the attitude, the press conference. That dude is my guy, and I wish
the man never talks on camera, but when he does, You better start fucking listening because that
Better
dude's got
record
some
it.
knowledge about he's about to drop on your head.
Yeah, and I've
So-
always been a huge running back fan. Like Giants history, like running backs have always been my favorite on the team. Like going back to like the Brandon Jacobs Bradshaw duo, and like now with Saquon.
You guys had Tiki Barber, wasn't it?
yeah, no, yeah, it was Tiki.
Because Rondé was
Yeah,
on
Rondé was-
Tampa
yeah.
Bay.
Yeah. Tiki Barber
So-
setting records. So I've always been a running back guy. And
I know shit when I'm not zoned out, not paying attention.
Victor Cruz.
So,
Last shout out
My
to
favorite,
Victor Cruz.
Victor Cruz, Randy Moss. I said Zach Bogosian
We
plays
all
for the
messed
Blues.
up. It's all right. It's all right.
So
vibing.
hockey, my favorite hockey player, not on my favorite team. The best American-born player of all time, Patrick Kane.
Woo, my man.
Okay, I see
Um,
you. I see you, girl.
Favorite NFL player, not on my favorite team, which is the Washington Redskins. The man who can wear a Texas tuxedo or Canadian tuxedo with a cowboy hat, whatever you want to call it, all denim, with a cowboy hat, who can hop out of a Ferrari wearing that and go play a football game, Von Miller.
Oh yeah.
I love Von Miller. I love his personality. I love that he owns a chicken farm. He just does whatever he wants, and he leads the league in sacks every year. NBA, Nikola Jokic, the Joker.
Oh yeah.
Um,
So your favorite basketball team, to clarify, is the Wizards, correct?
also the Wizards, no matter how sad they are. I really root for the Wizards, Trailblazers, and Nuggets, which is kind of Trailblazers and Nuggets is kind of like how can you do that? Don't fucking ask. Mind your own business.
Don't follow the
MLB,
pod.
my favorite player used to be Justin Verlander, but he's a cheating ass bitch. Now it's Nolan Arenado. So
Fuck
fuck
yeah.
you, Justin Verlander. You broke my heart for cheating.
Fuck the Astros in general.
Even though it wasn't really the pitchers that were cheating, he was just a part of it, and he didn't do anything about it. So guilty by association.
Facts.
My last thing was a story I was requested to tell from my youngest brother. So we were playing around Christmas time. We were playing backyard football like we normally do, and so I was quarterback. It was like family on family. So my youngest brother is out left, and we were just doing good old fashioned just get open. And I think this one I told him to run a deep end. So my cousin was lined up playing press coverage because what else do you play in backyard football? So he's backpedal. At the top of his route, when he goes to cut, smokes his face into my cousin's shoulder. Right? He just boom. He turns around and keeps running his route because he's a big team guy. He looks back and I was just like, oh, his nose is bleeding. His nose is just pouring blood. He looks back. You know when you get hit in the nose and your eyes start watering and
You just feel paralyzed.
Yeah. He continued to run his route. He looks back. He goes, boom, shoulder, cuts and looks in, and he looks back at me like he just got shot in the face. His nose is bleeding. His eyes are watering. And I was like, ow! Ow! His nose is bleeding. His nose is bleeding. But he continued to run his route. And he even changed routes on the fly like Wes Welker. He ran the in, got all the way to the right hash, and then just took off downfield. And I was about to puke from laughing so hard. I just threw as far as I could. Catches the touchdown. He catches it, scores a touchdown, and he's just like, boo, and there's no shooting blood out like a super soaker. It looked like he was shooting a water gun of tomato juice out of his face. That was the last play of the game. Ended in tie because he was just. It looked like George St. Pierre just ground pounded him when he was done. All he did was clip his nose on someone's shoulder.
Oh shit.
You probably didn't understand a word of what I was saying because I was laughing so hard. But shout out to my youngest brother.
All right, Matt, you want to send us out on this one?
Yeah, I think that's it for us. You guys got anything else?
I'm good.
All right. You know the vibes.
You know the vibes.